There is a number so large it's almost meaningless. $223 trillion. That is more than twice the entire world's GDP. This number is not wealth. It is not money in a vault. It is a weapon. It is the notional value of the global derivatives market, a financial time bomb ticking quietly beneath the entire global economy. In 2008, a small piece of this bomb, just a few $1 trillion in mortgage derivatives, detonated. It vaporized 8 million jobs, erased $4 trillion in retirement savings, and brought the world to its knees. We were told it was a once-in-a-lifetime crisis. We were told that laws were passed to fix the system, to ensure it could never happen again. This was a lie. The bomb was never diffused. It was just hidden. And it has been growing. And the most terrifying part? The next collapse isn't just likely, it is guaranteed. It is guaranteed by an unwritten law. A secret playbook that was established not in 2008, but over 200 years ago, at the very birth of the American financial system. To understand the crash that is coming, you must first understand the crash of 1792. The year is 1792. The United States is a brand new country. Its Treasury Secretary, Alexander Hamilton, has just created the nation's first central bank, the first bank of the United States. To fund the new government, Hamilton issued bonds, government debt. But a close friend of Hamilton's, a wealthy speculator named William Dewar, saw a can't-miss opportunity. Dewar decided to corner the market. He began borrowing massive amounts of money from anyone who would lend it to buy up bank stocks and government bonds, artificially inflating their price. It was a bubble, built entirely on debt. Sound familiar? In March of 1792, the bubble popped. Dewar defaulted on his loans. Panic swept Wall Street. As stocks crashed, banks failed, and the credit system froze. The new nation was facing its first financial collapse. And then Alexander Hamilton did something that would change history. To stop the panic, Hamilton, the Secretary of the Treasury, authorized the use of public taxpayer money to buy government securities from the panicking banks. It was the first bailout. William Dewar, the speculator, was sent to debtor's prison. But the system that he had gambled with was saved. A precedent was set. A playbook was written. That day, an unwritten law was passed down to every powerful banker for the next 200 years. If you win, the profits are yours. If you lose, the public will save you. You are too big to fail. Now, fast forward 200 years, the 1990s and 2000s, the bankers, armed with this 1792 playbook, decided to make the ultimate gamble. They invented a new, complex tool called a derivative. A derivative is just a bet. It's a side wager on the price of something else. The banks started making trillions of dollars in side bets on mortgages. They were betting that millions of Americans would, or would not, be able to pay their housing loans. They were so busy making these bets, they didn't care if the loans themselves were any good. They were lending money to anyone, creating the subprime mortgage bubble. Why would they take such an insane risk? Because they knew the 1792 playbook. They knew if the bubble ever popped, they were too big to fail. And in 2008, it popped. The system collapsed, just as it had in 1792. And what happened? Alexander Hamilton's ghost stepped in. The Federal Reserve and the Treasury Department used trillions of public and newly printed dollars to bail out the very banks that had caused the crisis. The playbook worked. Now, we are told that laws like Dodd-Frank were passed to fix this. This is the greatest lie of all. Those laws did not defuse the derivatives bomb. They simply regulated it. They made it legal. They created a system for how to handle the next collapse. And did the bomb shrink? No. It grew. Before 2008, the derivatives market was estimated at $140 trillion. Today, it is $223 trillion. Some estimates place the total value at over $1 quadrillion. The The 2008 crash was just a tremor. The $223 trillion bomb is the real earthquake. The 200-year-old law of 1792, the promise that the public will always pay for the risks of the elite, has guaranteed that the banks will keep gambling. They have no reason to stop because they know the playbook. The collapse is not a risk. It is a certainty. It is the final logical outcome of a system designed not for prosperity, but for profit.